Hello, collective. This is Tan from Artemis Oracle. I'm doing a Scorpio reading. I haven't done a Scorpio reading in some time. And I want to see what comes out for Scorpios. What do Scorpios need to know at this time? Got one card that came out, but I'm going to put it back, but we're going to see what it is. Trapped. Stuck, tied down, captive. Okay. Let's see. So what does Scorpios need to know at this time? I hope you're all doing well. So I'm doing a Scorpio sign reading because I am a Scorpio. Scorpio with 4 placements. So what does Scorpio need to know at this time? Scorpio needs to know. Card flipped. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Let it burn. When I saw this card came out earlier in the collective reading I did earlier today. It's part of my live stream. So if you were interested in seeing that, you could go to the channel page and click on the live tab, and you'll see all the live streams that I have done. But the first card that we have for Scorpio is information overload, social media out of control, with a noisy sound. So it's like a lot of distractions, a lot of interference, a lot of noise. Some of the noise is unnecessary. Then we have the torment card in reverse. So it's like whatever anxiety, bondage, depression, or troubles that have been plaguing or tormenting a Scorpio is being silenced right now. There's going to be a period of calmness, stillness, possibly peace. But this could be a strategic move too on a Scorpio's part, or this is advice for us to be in this mode of keeping silence. There may be a lot of shit going on around us that may be trying to trigger us, to torment us. But it's important for us to remain silent, to not react the way us Scorpios are infamous for. Like yesterday, I reacted. We got the silence card, but keep silent, coercion, hint. Silence speaks volumes. Hello, how are you, Lillian? Okay, letting go, surrender, open, give up, release. So there may be something that, may be going on that is requiring you not to react in a way you typically would if you're a reactive Scorpio, but employ silence. Silence, like I said, speaks volume, but silence is also deadly, and something may be going on around you that may be wanting to provoke you in some way, even trying to cause you to be in this lower vibrational energy, but you not allowing yourself to fall into like old patterns of behavior, then, it's like you're just avoiding this torment that someone or something may be trying to bring upon you. It could be something that it's like, it could be you burning bridges, but you're doing so for your own sake, for your own peace of mind. Sometimes when we're starting to release something, this is where we get those tests, either from universe or from people, trying to see if we will crack in some way. But it's like if there has been something going on and you've already decided that you're no longer going to engage in it, that's where the silence is coming in, but it's to your benefit, but to whoever or whatever's detriment, because they can't handle it. This possibly may enrage a person that they're not getting the reaction that they're hoping for because they're realizing they're not as powerful as they thought they were. I know as Scorpios, like we sometimes like to play dead. Sometimes we may not react to certain things, let shit slide. But then it gets to the point where this may happen, you know, all the fireworks go off. But then sometimes it's like, you got to keep that to yourself, you know? Maybe this was the past energy where you may have been reactive and stuff. And it's like, you know what? I don't have to waste my time and energy on someone who, or something. It could be a situation, a person, people, family, friends, ex, whatever. You're not letting it get to you anymore. You know, it's like you've become your own safe haven, and whatever, anything that is no longer serving you, anything that you no longer want to engage in, the closer they get to you, it's like you incinerate it in some way, but it's just in an energetic way, you know? So let's see who comes out for Scorpio. Conflict. Clashing differences and compatibility. And that is under noisy sound. What do we get? Nourish, self-growth, self-focused, soul-finding. So this is about evolution in a way, you know? Like if you know anything about the Scorpio sign, it goes through multiple levels of transformations before it reaches the highest level. And I think it's the Phoenix. I think there's a higher level. But it's like, you're learning that the best way to take care of yourself is to avoid conflict, not engage in conflict, not allow people to distract you, deter you, interfere with you, fuck with you in any way, you know? Hi, Nelson. Hi, Bannon. Right now I'm in the Love Oracle deck. Let's see what else comes out. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Tan, and Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm a tarot and oracle card reader. Now, the card that came out is elusive, dishonesty, deception, trickery. You know, the thing is that some people like to think that they can lie to us Scorpios, but we already know the truth. So sometimes we just let people keep digging the holes, digging themselves into a hole. You know, they may think we're none the wiser, but we're already like collecting all the data, all the information, seeing how everything isn't adding up, you know, and we just remain silent and we just keep watching this person or this situation, all the dishonesty, illusions that may be created by this person. We just act like we're not privy to it, but we're well aware of it. You know. Pride, arrogance, ego, stubborn, letting go. It's interesting that all the cards that came out of this Love Oracle deck are not love related. But in a way, this seems like this is a personal thing, you know? It's like letting go of your pride. Because sometimes when we're in our prideful energy, where we're egotistical and we're feeling arrogant and stubborn and not wanting to admit when we're wrong, that's an indication of not being evolved, but it's like some of us may be releasing that or not. Unfortunately, I cannot read for pregnancy because a doctor will be the best person to tell you about your pregnancy. And also, let's see, let me do this real quick. Let me go back to this. Okay. Most tarot readers don't really do readings for pregnancy. Because there are a lot of things that may be going on that you may be part of your medical history that we're not privy to, and that a doctor would be best suited to answer your questions. Because, and you know, that is a medical question, you know, and if you are seeing a doctor and you don't feel like you're getting the right answers or the answers that are helping you feel better about your pregnancy, then you might consider going to a different doctor, the one who you feel will be honest with you and, you know, can like provide you the information you need. But I feel like most importantly, like, yeah, you should definitely, you know, because like I said, there's things that I don't know that and that may be underlying that you may not even know. So that's a really tough question for me to answer for you. Okay. So it's interesting, like with this oracle. So I'm sorry I can't answer your question, Bannon. Yeah, I'm glad you retracted that because that made no damn sense. Don't create problems for yourself with your worries, you know, that those thoughts that you have can create problems for you. If your pregnancy is healthy so far and you're getting the medical advice and guidance that you need, then everything should be okay. I understand how challenging it could be when you're pregnant because I've been pregnant twice and you know it's scary not knowing if everything's going to be okay, but as long as you keep up to date with your appointments and everything, you know, like to me, like the scariest thing was like giving birth. You know, giving birth, that was scary. You know, that was scary. Okay, so I'm going to close that reading out. But I hope your pregnancy continues to be healthy and that your baby is born with 10 toes, 10 fingers, 2 eyes, everything in order. Just to be a healthy baby, a healthy, beautiful baby. Okay, I'm going to go into the Tangled Love deck because like these first cards, they're more about like something that may be coming around that may be trying to test you. Maybe somebody's trying to test your stupidity. Because I know people like to do that in the chat too. You're welcome. And I would say trust your instincts. If you feel like there's something wrong, then go to the doctor. You know, but if there's like your fears are unfounded, then just enjoy your pregnancy. Enjoy your pregnancy, especially if it has been going good so far. Okay, so we got 2 cards from the Tangled Love deck. Contemplation, sketchy, unsure of you, playing games, weighing out options. I know some people like to do this with us readers. Because so I think that we look at the cards, we read the cards. We could be intuitive, we get intuitive nudges, we could get channeling, but it depends if we're able to connect with whoever we're reading for, you know, because you have to give us permission to do that. But also if some people can actually talk to spirits and stuff. No, not right at this time because I'm reading for Scorpio right now. This is a Scorpio reading. Avoidance, contemplation, solo. And I even say hi to you. Hi. Hi, Baji. Baji? Contemplation, sketchy of you, unsure of you, playing games, weighing out options, envy, black magic, jealous of you, holding a grudge, mad you're gone, and avoidance, ghosted and hiding, conflicted, introspection, feeling guilty. So someone is the deep thought, thinking about something, but you know, like if you put this all together, you know, some of you may be avoiding people who are a person that's jealous of you, you know, because of, I don't know, you may have had to pull your energy back from someone that probably has caused you to possibly overthink, you know, have you too much in your head, possibly playing games, putting you, like doing stupid things, stupid shit. And they said Scorpios tend to have people jealous of them. Honestly, when I was younger, yeah, I had like some jealous people. But I mean, I can't. And I was just being myself. Okay. Pisces. Avoidance, intimacy. Passion, coming together, magnetic pull, missing you. So let me show you the contemplation. So there's a masculine energy who's in deep thought. You know, there may be a jealous feminine energy that may be, this masculine energy may be avoiding in some way. Because this person possibly has done or said things where that probably put the masculine energy in his head. And he's probably considering whether or not this feminine energy that has been, I would say toxic. I love, my favorite color is green. So I hate that it's tied to envy. Yeah, there may have been a lot of conflict because fighting card is in the bottom. Trust issues, one-sided, detached, poor communication, avoidance. So, I mean, the feminine energy could be very jealous. You know, I can understand that. Sometimes I'd be like that too. I'm a Scorpio, so I could see like someone with us handling, like being in a relationship with a Scorpio, but also like there may be an external party that may be jealous, you know? Someone that may be avoiding, there could be avoidance of intimacy, a blocking of intimacy. If there was something going on in the past with a Scorpio, there may have been a lot of arguments of fighting, and then we have spiritual attack too. So someone has been like, when I think of spiritual attack, I just think that people having like sending out negative thoughts, negative energy directed to someone specifically. And it may be coming from someone who's envious, you know? It's that, what do you call it? The evil eye. Someone's like sending out that negative energy because they're jealous of something. And someone, you may be avoiding this energy, Scorpio, maybe avoiding this envious, jealous, toxic energy. I don't know if it's because you're in a relationship with someone and there may be someone trying to interfere with you and your partner, whoever you may be interested in being with. You know, it could be an ex. Someone who was toxic, always fighting, always sending out negative energy, always putting out bad, you know, just being in this negative space. But I like that the Spirit Got You card is in the bottom. And this is a card I've rarely seen. And I've rarely seen this card in a reading too. When I've used this deck, it says protection signs and guided. Hi, Rizwan. Hi, Riz. I hope you're doing well. So Spirit got you. You're protected. You're protected. You're guided. You're seeing signs and stuff. Maybe you're getting some sort of information or nudges that are just letting you know to protect yourself, but also that you are protected. Maybe somehow may been able to avoid this person, either by choice or because somehow anytime that this person may have tried to cross paths with you, you were able to like unknowingly be diverted to a different path where your paths couldn't converge, you know? It could be someone that you were intimate with in the past. Citrine, stop shuffling in the unfinished business cards. I mentioned someone from the past. It says proposal, forgiveness, reconciliation, fixing your issues. Yes, because I'm not going to be on tomorrow. So it's like, let me just go on again. I'm not answering any questions. I'm just doing a straight Scorpio reading. Feeling it again, real connection, affections. I don't know, maybe this person, I don't know if this envious energy can change. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but if you're like trying to trigger someone, and I mean, it says karmic triggers, spiritual awakening, shadow work, I can't read, divine protection. I was like divination. So, I mean, somebody can be doing that. Maybe this envious energy has gone through some sort of spiritual awakening and is wanting to it has done the shadow work, has probably, but Everybody's situation is not the same, you know, but I mean, if this is the case where someone has been working on themselves and has been trying to improve themselves, work on their insecurities, not being as combative or anything, then yeah, I mean, it's possible, but that someone can reconcile, but it's not always the case. I was gonna say, if you're a Scorpio, you can ask a question, but the thing is, you can lie and say you were a Scorpio and not be one. So I'm not even gonna like give anybody the opportunity to do that. I'm like, oh, you want to answer? You're a Scorpio, send me your ID. I want to see your date of birth to confirm. You know? Okay. Let me see what else comes out. Cold shoulder, breakup, distance, ignoring, keeping busy. See, like this goes with the avoidance card. It's like you're icing somebody out, you know? Because some, you know, like you have to take time to yourself. You have to introspect, but you can't always be doing like this contemplating and thinking and reconciling when it's coming from within, when you have someone who is the issue around you, you know? So the avoidance is like, yeah, you have to ice somebody out, but you're doing so for your own protection, for your own peace of mind, your own sanity. The unfinished business card came out. Yeah, because somebody may be coming back like wanting to get back together. Wanting to get back together. But it's like, no. See the cold shoulder. Now we saw the unfinished business card before. I don't know, like this intimacy card, I feel like it's, I don't know if it's tied to this person or this is a separate energy, like, or this is a relationship with someone trying to interfere with the new relationship. This passion coming together, it could be new energy, magnetic pull, missing you is one of them. So it could be somebody maybe wanted to come back because they just want to get some. They want some. And that could be like why you're, as a Scorpio, you're maybe blocking this person out. I know why they always say that about Scorpios. You know what they say about Scorpios. If you heard what they say about Scorpios, if you know, you know. I think if we're with the right people, then it's true. It's true. See the reconciliation, putting in the work, better communication, getting back together, and equal give and take. So it's like depending, because sometimes some people it's like it's unforgivable. You cannot forgive anything that they've done in the past. But then if it's like a situation where it's like maybe a misunderstanding or maybe just someone's personal insecurities getting in the way and there was no cheating, there was no deception and lying or anything or illusions. If it's not a situation like that, then reconciliation is possible, you know? If it's like a something that's easily forgivable, you know? It could be somebody who is contemplating reconciliation, but it's like, it depends. You know, I'm going to pull out the Roll Oracle cards so I could get more about. I'm not taking any personal questions. This is a Scorpio reading. This is just for Scorpios. Scorpio may be dealing with some, oh wow, succession, legacy, lineage, descendant, heir. So someone may, that could be someone who has either inherited something, inherited money, inherited property, something like that. Let me see. Gold digger. If you're Scorpio, if you're someone who is like, who has money, who is financially abundant in some way, some of you may be dealing with someone who's a gold digger, opportunistic, greed, exploitation, selfishness. Yeah, that is so funny that the air came out with the gold digger. And funny, look in the bottom of the deck, we have thinker, and then we have contemplation right here. says meditate, focus, profound. See, it's like this, because with meditation, there's silence. You don't talk. Yeah, they are, aren't they? I'm using a different deck, but I haven't used this deck in a while. The Tangled Love deck. I like this deck. I like the images. I like the phrases, the words, keywords, and all that stuff. I'm not answering any personal questions. Okay, please. Even if you're a Scorpio, because I cannot verify that. So, and I don't want anybody like, I'm a Scorpio too. You know, as a Scorpio, if you will understand, Joanne, as a Scorpio, you will understand, because people try to take advantage of us. So you will understand me. You won't be offended by what I said if you're truly a Scorpio. Quester, adventure, expedition, discovery, quest, challenge. Adventure, quester. Because this is Indiana Jones, like someone who's adventurous in some way. Quester. But it's just like someone who's also inquisitive, wanting to learn, wanting to gain more information, knowledge. So I don't know how that relates to this reading, but like the air, gold digger, quester, could be someone who's seeking wealth, looking for someone who, like heirs. If you think about this, I'm gonna put it like in a spiritual aspect. Heirs, like think about people who are heirs. They usually have a lot of abundance. They have a lot of good energy. And people like that. Vampires like that. They like to suck the life out of us Scorpios. So there might be somebody who's a vampiric type of energy that maybe, look at this in the shadows. And that's so funny. The other side says reverse side. And this card, I believe it came out in the reading I did earlier today. But it's just like someone who may be trying to exploit a Scorpio. I'm a Scorpio, That's why I have to put up that boundary of I'm not taking any questions, because like right now I'm protecting myself, But air. So someone may be trying to, like some of you Scorpios may be dealing with someone who is just looking for attention, looking for energy, looking for a source. Like if what do you call it? They say like a succubus type of energy. It could be somebody who likes to play sports, like it's a champion, victory, winner, conqueror, exemplar. Like someone who and we did have the playing games card. Right here with contemplation, it says playing games right here. You see that? So someone can be playing games. No, I'm not doing any readings. No personal readings today. Envoy, diplomacy, ambassadors, delegation, negotiation. Envoy. And the shadow cards stayed on the bottom of the deck. 3 may be significant. The number 3. March the 3rd. March the 3rd. March 3rd? Why did I 3-3? March 3rd. I don't know if that means anything to a Scorpio. But envoy, let me see something real quick, because that word. I don't want to be talking out my ass. It's a messenger sent to represent a government. You know how some people, they may present themselves a certain way? And I remember a friend saying to me, like, oh, someone's showing their representative, So it could be that. Let me see if that is. Why always say, let me see? I like the way I say it. That's why. What's on March 3rd, 2026? Oh, that's the, let me see what it says. Let me go to Lunoff. That's my favorite website to check out the current moon phase. Thank you for that, Alpha. I remember there's that reggaeton singer Alpha. El Alpha, I think that's his name. Yeah, it's the full moon in Virgo. Full moon in Virgo. Some of you may have been dealing with a Virgo. You may have Virgo in your chart. What? This card? I was talking about vampires and stuff like that. Look what came out, Berserker. And it says bellicose. I don't know if I'm saying that word. Resilience, bloodthirsty, destroy. Yeah, just like whoever this like person is, they just like a succubus. I said succubus energy. That's a deep voice. He sounds like a roach. Like, that's how he sounds like. That's how he sounds when I hear his music. I don't know why. No, that I think this is insane. Like someone is presenting themselves to be a certain way. They're presenting themselves to be like someone who is very accomplished, has a lot of achievements in their life. But they're an opportunist, you know? Like I said, wanting to suck your energy like a gold digger. Gold diggers are like succubus energy, essentially. I don't know, like I know people were talking to me about how they couldn't understand Bad Bunny because they're like, I don't know why I'm doing these voices. But anyway, like I feel like they're like just someone is like this person is in search of gold, in search of something or someone. This person that may be returning in search of an opportunity to like take from you, you know, this envious energy. That's so weird how this all comes out. Cold shoulder, reconciliation, cold shoulder, vision, envy. I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, so like all right, say you're Scorpio and this parasitic energy, yes, I like that word, parasitic. No, we need some oregano oil for those people. Let's see the possible things that this succubus energy might say. Yeah. Everybody needs to watch out for them. So we have, like our kids, we have to teach them what to look out for when it comes to that. So like this parasitic person, I'm like, that word is still in my mind now. Okay, like this vampiric energy. Like what if they're wanting to come back? And we're talking about in a negative sense, okay? Now, if this is a person that you don't have like ill will, it was just like simply a misunderstanding, that there was lack of communication, miscommunication, you know, you just had an argument, you've been fighting, you know, possibly there was a third party situation where someone may have been trying to interfere with your relationship because they're jealous, and jealous people tend to do that. They don't like seeing other people happy. So they may try to interfere with someone's relationship. So like if it's like simply that, like if nothing happened, there was no cheating or anything, then reconciliation is possible. Then you could take these messages as positive messages, or if it's in the negative sense, you could take these messages as something this energy may try to say, oh my gosh, look at this, the chameleon. This is like someone who is like trying to like shapeshift, you know, shapeshift themselves. Oh, and it says it changeable, adaptability, elusive, camouflaging, shapeshifting. Yeah, so this person may be coming, acting all sweet and soft. And you see how the chameleon is. It's very, like, you see the colors are pastel, they're soft. But look at the berserker. It's like, this is what's behind that mask, you know? So you take the messages as they resonate. This could be something of like an honest, like, it was like a misunderstanding type of situation. Nice, sweet message. Or it could be like this deceptive message. Something that they might say to try to get back into your good graces. And you know, the easiest way to learn that is to actually have people show you those traits, those behaviors, and you could be like, you see what that person's doing over there? This is what they're doing, and this is the reason why, and this is why you need to look out for that, you know. But it's sad that we had to teach our children at such a young age to look out for that stuff, because they're still young, so they can be a bit defenseless, you know, because anybody can, like anybody bigger or more powerful, and I mean in the physical sense, of like the strength sense, but still, it's like, it's sad that we have to teach our children that, especially, oh my God, with everything that's going on. Okay, so let's see what messages the possible person that wants to come back wants to say. Like, you could take them as a warning or actually a sweet message. What message is okay? I keep dreaming about us together. Maybe something that this person might say. I keep dreaming about us together. Like, I keep having dreams about us. I dreamt about you last night. Something like that. Anything else? My kids, they're not even kids. They're in their 20s, you know? It's like, it's funny, I was talking to somebody, I was like, I don't know, maybe I would like to have another baby. But there'll be a huge age gap. You know, my youngest son is going to be 21. So if I have a baby, like say I get pregnant next year, there'll be a 22-year age difference. I'm taking time to find myself again. So that could be this person that has been doing shadow work. So that possibly has been thinking, reflecting on past events. A card flip, 2 cards flipped. I am coming in to show you a better version of me. Yeah, that's, I'm like, some people, they're like, oh yes, I changed. I changed for the moment. You know, I changed. And then this is still in the background. This still exists. And you're the only one I see. Was there a card? Yeah, there was a card. What was that card? About watching? No, was it? There was a card. Maybe in my mind. I'm trying. I swore I saw a card like that, like someone maybe watching, not. I don't know. Okay, let me go to another message deck. Oh, let me see what's at the bottom. I didn't check the bottom. You're the best thing that has happened to me. Oh my God. Like, don't the people usually say that when they want to come back? I can't live without you. You mean the world to me. I can't live without you. That type of shit. I am young though. Remember my Leo moon. Scorpio rising. Oh my gosh. Alpha's Scorpio rising, and then AV. AV is Scorpio rising. Joanne, I think Joanne may have left. I don't know if Joanne's still there, but she said she was a Scorpio. I think it's my immaturity that keeps me young. Okay, I want to kiss you. Mars and Leo. I have a Leo moon. Mars and Leo, wow. That's very fiery. I want to kiss you. I did mention that someone maybe wanted to come back for intimacy. And these are the Burning Heart Love Oracle deck. Let's see what else. Always attracting. Who's always attracting? I'm holding on to the memories of us. It's like that contemplative energy. I let people manipulate me into ghosting you. And then we did have the avoidance card. with ghosting here. The distance between us is killing me, or it kills me. And I want to apologize. I need your forgiveness. There may be somebody who wants an apology, who wants to reconcile, because we do have this, but like not everybody's situation is rainbows and butterflies, you know? It's, I don't know, I want to say fiery arrows and bombs, like some really shitty situation. But like I want to apologize. I need your forgiveness. Putting in the work, better communication, getting back together, and equal give and take, you know? And then at the bottom is, I regret what I did to you. You know, so you could take those messages as it resonates with you, because some people are genuinely regretful, genuinely remorseful. But then there's people who just say what they want to say to get what they want to get, you know? Yeah. I want to do, let me see one, because I was like, since I wasn't going to be able to, I don't really like doing lives at home. I'd rather do it at work for some reason. Because at home, I don't really like the setup I have, and I can't be on camera. So I'm just showing my desk. And I don't know, for some reason, I prefer to be on camera when I'm live. And I don't want to film any videos. I prefer being live because on live, I don't have to take up memory on my phone. Put that there. All right, I'm just putting these cards away. That's what happens when you use multiple decks. It gets a little messy. I know this goes here. Virgo too? I didn't know that. I think it's more so people's energies that makes them look younger, you know? I know when I'm not when I'm in my negative energy, I look ugly and old and haggard, and like I got in contact with a berserker, like a vampire. But you know, when you're in like a really, like if you're in good energy, if you're positive energy, that tends to make people look younger, more youthful. I don't know, like I'm gonna bring up Marjorie Taylor Greene. No, but when I'm in my bad energy, oh yes. Ugh. Especially when I'm around the wrong people. Oh my God. When I was with my ex, oh my God, I felt like he was a vampire. I looked so tired and I did not look good. It's like every time I was like away from him, it's like I got my sparkle back. You know, I looked like I looked younger, my skin looked better, you know, and I'm someone who, you know, who gets acne. But like right now I have a filter. I like to be very genuine, authentic, and honest. And this is a filter. It makes my skin look flawless. Flawless skin, I have no idea what that is because I've never experienced that. Maybe when I was a baby, you know, but when I was with I don't even know if I call him an ex because I don't know what else I should call him. But when, you know, like when things started going downhill, I did not look my best. So that it's true. Like if you're around the wrong people, you're around the wrong energy. If you're not even in a good energy, then you don't look good. And I wanted to make an example out of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm a Cancer rising. So I know the Cancer rising, that's why I have large breasts. Because it's the maternal sign, you know? And apparently Cancer risings have large breasts. So you see it, you know, I can't hide them, you know, they're there. We accept them and we don't judge, right? You accept me and you don't judge. I think we all do, you know, because I know when I was younger, I was destructive. But the thing is, like, I internalized a lot of things. So the only person I was destroying was myself, you know? And like I said, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know if anybody, you know her, like she was the one that was like, oh, the Epstein file, the America, you know, like MAGA this and MAGA that, right? And it's like once she stepped away from those people, I don't know if anyone has noticed that she looks different. Like she actually looks better. I don't know if anybody has noticed that. I noticed that. I was like, oh, she looks better. You know, I know she probably, I don't know if she got procedures or anything, but I'm using that as an example because that group of people, they're very negative. They're very toxic, negative. I don't know how anybody could think that it's okay to treat people like that, to dehumanize people the way they think it's okay to do, you know, and be in positive energy. That's an oxymoron, you know. You can't be like, I hate certain groups of people, they should not be in America, but then be like, I don't know, love and light and positive. That's impossible. Yeah, it's the negative energy. That negative energy it shows up. You can't hide. If you're ugly in the inside, it's gonna show up on the outside. It's like what they say about your gut health. If you don't take care of your microbiome, then it shows up in your skin. I'll use it as an example. Yeah, the life has been sucked out of him. The humanity has been sucked out of him. Somebody's lusting. I saw the lusting card. I'll show it to you. Lusting. There's somebody lusting. I'm not answering any questions. But I feel like, you know, as long as you're taking care of yourself, you're treating yourself right, you're treating others right, then I feel like that really shows up in how we look. All right, let me see what I wanted to do. Yeah, because if you think about it, negative energy is so much heavier. If you think about like negative and positive, think about like a balloon. And the helium that's inside a balloon is what allows it to float and everything. You know, it's weightless in a way. But darkness, negative energy is heavier. So it's like you have a balloon that's wanting to float away, be free, and float wherever it wants to go, wherever the wind wants to take it. But then you have like this thing that you see in a party that holds the damn balloon like still. You know, that's what negative energy is in a way. It's dense. The energy is so much more dense. That's why when they say like, and I don't know, I'm not a chakra expert either. I'm not an astrology queen. I'm not a chakra champion or whatever. I say champion because we saw the champion card earlier. But for what they say is like our lower chakras are heavier than our upper chakras, like our crown, our third eye, even our throat and our heart. The sacral is where our power source. It's like a powerhouse, right? But the root and the sacral chakra is like very heavy energy. It's lower, I wouldn't say lower vibrational, but you know, if you're resonating from a higher frequency, then you're more here. You're more heart and centered, and you know what I mean? Yeah, dense is yeah. So if you think about our base desires, our survival instincts, it has to do with our root chakra, but also our sacral, where we create. Because we create out of necessity to protect ourselves. Like, you know, if you're somewhere and you don't have a home or shelter per se, you had to create shelter, right? Our safety, because that's what the root chakra comes from. It's like, I feel safe, you know, but that's what causes us to want to create. So it's like you operating from the lower chakra going upward, you know. That makes sense in some way. You know, you seem well versed in a lot of things. Alpha. So I'm thinking that name suits you really well. But I like that song. It's a good song. I'm still like in shock that that's not a real singer. That's a V girl. I'm still in shock about that. But you know what's the fact that I even thought that what if this is not a real voice? Like I mean, like not a real person singing that. The fact that that thought passed my mind, and then you essentially confirmed that it's a V girl. That's the sound I like. So do you think you look old if you live 100 years in a day? How do you think you look? Jose? 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 I'm not answering any personal questions with cards. Old young man, you know. I think I know what you mean because my son, he's 21, but people think he, like when he was, I think he was in middle school, people thought he was in college. Yeah. So I think I know what you mean. And then I had a friend, he's 24 years old. He's basically like in between my youngest and oldest son's age. Okay. Wow. I'm not ashamed of my age. I just don't want to say what it is because I'm going to say this. I'm 11 years older than you. Mm-hmm. And don't put it in the comments, Alpha. I'm going to hide it. I want people to do their own math. They're like 11 plus 32. What does that equal? None of your business. Okay. Let me see what else I want to do. I have another deck. See, I've been on for almost, I like that I'm on now. Because then I could go home and be like, yes, I did 2 lives. And then I don't have to feel bad tomorrow. Ah, I didn't even see it. I just see you retracted it. Because I didn't even see it. So you must have pulled it back in time. Okay. Divine timing unveiled deck. Let's see what comes out. If they're listening, then they'll know. They'll be able to put the numbers together. They can do the math. What else does Scorpio need to know at this time? New beginning. They hope to get the relationship off the ground and give it a fair chance in the works. So there might be somebody who wants a new beginning. So that if some of you have a question about a relationship, if you can have a redo or restart, then it's saying yes. But it's depending on if that's what you want. Because, you know, readers talk about how people say, I don't want my ex back. Then the message is not for you. Some people want their ex back. You know, some people have really awesome exes. Like my kid's father, he's amazing. Any woman who ends up with him, she will be very lucky. I will say that. I'm not saying I want him back, but I'm just saying that if I was to want anybody back, it would be him, you know? 3:45. Are you in the West Coast, California? Because I know California is 3 hours ahead of us. New Yorkers. It's like lately I've been channeling a lot, and stuff that pops up in, oh, Seattle. Oh my gosh. I always want to go to Seattle. I always wanted to go to Seattle. That is so cool. I heard I'm going by Frasier, the show Frasier. Does it rain a lot? And I'm guessing it does because that's part of the Pacific Northwest. And it tends to be rainy over there. No, hard decision. Two paths to choose, both equally attractive for different reasons. Stuck in decision. Oh, it sounds like somebody, like this is totally different. Because that is just like, yes, let's get back together. Let's stay together. That is the Al Green song. Okay. And then another one, two paths to choose, both equally attractive. This is like Two of Swords, Two of Wands. Being at a crossroads, trying to decide which path to take. But then it's like, if some of you may be obsessing about something, like two options, two choices, two paths that you have to take, you have to weigh them out and see what will be beneficial, what aligns with you when you make that final decision, you know? But when it's saying when you stop obsessing, yeah, because sometimes you could get stuck in trying to make a decision, stuck in indecision. But it's like, no, yeah, in order sometimes you have to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and look how the trajectory of each option and see if the desired outcome is possible within both options, and whether, like, what will be also the downfalls, the pitfalls of either option, like looking at the pros and cons before making a final decision. It could be about two different people, but it could also be something outside of love and relationships. You know, it could just be about work. It could be even moving, career, anything like that. I fucking hate feeling stuck. I hate that feeling because it's like the hangman energy. It's like you feel like you're suspended in air and you can't move but the thing is, it's like that the idea of being stuck is an idea. You know, we all have a choice. We have free will to a certain extent, because I know some people are in different situations that may hinder them in some way. They may block them from making decisions. Like I said, everybody's situation is different, but I'm talking about people who are like the stuck energy is more so internal than anything. And I've hated when I've been in that energy because it's frustrating, and it not only it affects you mentally, it affects you emotionally. Like I hate when I feel like I have to cry, but I can't, because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna cry about. Like, what am I crying about? Why am I emotional? Why do I feel like this? You know? Like that's a feeling that pervades, but it's all mental. Let's see what else. Or someone, like, if having to make a decision about having a new beginning with something can be a hard decision, but it's like you also have to look at everything that's happened in the past, and if it's something that can be forgiven, and if it's not, then it's like, that's not that path is closed off to you, But if there's things that are forgivable, things that you can overlook, I don't like overlooking things. That's not a good thing, because it's like you're pretending something's not there when it is. So I'm not going to say overlook, but it's things that are forgivable. It exists, but can you forgive it? Can you move past it? Are you going to use it as like, what do you call it? You know how people use things as ammunition? Like will you use that against the person if you get in a fight? And it's funny, I was watching a reader, her name, Path of Enlightenment Tarot, and she was talking about that. Like sometimes, like she mentioned something about someone who used to be a drug addict and then they get in an argument with somebody. And she just used this as an example. Then the person says, and the person recovered from using drugs. They no longer use drugs. They're sober, they're recovered, but recovery is a lifelong process, because people fall off the wagon sometimes. But it's like the person gets called a crackhead. It's like they get their past thrown back at them. So it's like that type of thing. Like, can you move past whatever happened in the past? Or are you still holding a grudge? Are you still resentful about what happened? And when you get into an argument, are you going to be throwing that back in the person's face? Because if that's the case, then nope, then that is a path that you need to like just completely like turn your back to, you know, because it's not fair if someone, you know, is trying and then you're just still holding the past against them. But then, like I said, it's about forgiveness. If it's unforgivable, you have to do what's right for you. You know, you shouldn't have to tolerate or feel like you have to forgive somebody for something that you don't want to forgive them for. Forgiveness is more so for ourselves than anybody, because we're the ones that have to deal with the weight of whatever the person did to us. You know, it's that becomes our burden. But when we forgive, that's when we drop that burden from us. And that's where the lightness comes in, you know, that removes the negative, dense energy that could be pervading from the past. The other card that came out was haunted. Yes, haunted. They can't get you out of their head. Your memory haunts them any day now. This is like past energy. So if you're wondering, Scorpio, if anybody's been thinking about you, yes, they have been. They can't get you out of your can't get you out of my head. That song from Patty Minogue. You know what's funny? You say that. Then look what card came out. Nothing else to do. Because sometimes you did everything that you needed to do. Now it's like time for you to like release, let go, and let the chips fall as they may. You know, because there's a certain point where you can put in a lot of effort towards something, but then you've put in everything that you needed to. Now it's time to take a step back and let things happen, let things flow. It's like holding on to that wheel of fortune. You know, the wheel of fortune is supposed to spin. It spins forward, and that's positive, where it could, you know, it's in your favor. But if it has to go in the reverse because you're holding on to something, then you're working against yourself. So, like, that's why we can't force things. You know? I see you like, yeah. I didn't read the whole comment. I just read the first part. Yeah, you can't force things because, like as the card says, nothing else to do. There's nothing else you can do. 8-8 on the 11-8. So the 11th or 8th could be, I don't know, I'm just saying that right now. May, nothing else to do. So if there's something that you've already put in your work effort towards that, there's nothing else for you to do other than to wait. Something may be coming up in the month of May. It says there's nothing you could have done differently. Challenges teach you everything is as it should be. You know? So the thing I said, something happening in May, that's side message, because I didn't even read that part of the card. And then the other one is forbidden fruit. They see your glow up, intrigued by this new you, and feel you moved on. Now they want you back. Forbidden fruit, yes. Spontaneous act. Makes me think about temptation. Friendship in the bottom. They want to be friends first and take it slow to build a solid foundation. So this is new. They want to be friends first and take it slow and build a solid foundation. So that's like new energy. So some of you may be already talking to someone new that may be interested in you, or you may be interested in them, but they want to take things slow, possibly because they know rushing things does not work out well. It doesn't bode well. Oh, wow. Well, there's nothing else for you to do with her, you know? Hi, Kenneth. Hope you're doing well. This card is just like saying it's out of your hands. It's out of your hands. So this is like, I like when somebody else was saying in a reading, she said, choose faith over fear. Choose faith over fear. I want to see something right now. What am I doing? I want to check something. Okay. But are things clearer now for you? Are things clearer now for you? And then this card comes out. Yes. This is an option, not ready to commit, but they don't want to lose you either. They want to keep their options open. I hate that. Like, leave me the. Some of you. Yeah, that might resonate with somebody. That may resonate with somebody in a Scorpio. I used all my cards. I didn't use my tarot, though. Mm-hmm. Ah, the card said yes, too. Let me see what else comes out for Scorpio. Scorpio. That's like, I'm still learning how to do that. It's my Capricorn Mars. That's so controlling. Let's see what else comes off for Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. For anybody that's showing up, my name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. An Oracle and Tarot card reader. Yeah. Very controlling. But it's like, I didn't understand why I was like that. But then it's like, it's because I'm trying to protect myself. But then also when we do that, we create problems. We create problems for ourselves. Because some things are not meant for us to really control. Like that card says, it's like out of your hands. So I say did it say that? There's nothing for you to do. There's no more to do, something like that. I forgot what the card said. Oh, look at this card. It says maturity. That's maturing, when you're able to see your faults, acknowledge that there's changes that you need to make, and you start making those changes, and even forgiving yourself when you kind of regress back to bad behaviors. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you said a hell of a drug, it made me think about the song Sensory Overload, when that's a hell of a combo. It made me think about that part of the song. And we're talking about controlling. The Capricorn card came out. It's good to have like people that you can go to when you feel like but it's also good to be able to acknowledge that you're at some point where you feel like you're going to do something negative, and you have somewhere or someone to go to who can help ground you. Yeah, it's a nice card. This is the Tattoo Tarot. No, there's another Tattoo Tarot, but I like this one better because it has a lot more imagery. I don't know, I feel like it looks better than the other tarot deck. I mean, it has toddies on them, like their toddies are showing. But so that's Capricorn energy. This devil's the Capricorn card. So I'm not the devil. No, you think skying. It's that song from Stained. Three of Cups. I know Three of Cups, they say that's like the party card, the celebrating card, but it could also be like drinking. Nine of Cups is overindulgence. Capricorn. This is Sagittarius card, the Nine of Wands. It's about being like someone who's gone through a lot of, they call it the wounded warrior. And is it with the past person? Are you talking about like personal relationships, like intimate relationships? King of Swords, King of Pentacles. Capricorn, this is Capricorn energy. Earth sign energy with Taurus, coming up with the King of Pentacles. King of Swords. Ten of Swords. Is this time 8 of Swords? Eight of Pentacles. Talking about your parents, talking to your parents. Okay, I figured that when I saw the last message. I'm not answering any questions with the cards. I just did a tarot reading for Scorpio sign. Yeah, sometimes you need that filter. Like for me, when I like to write, so that's like the best way. Like if you ever have to, this is a Scorpio thing too, because I know like sometimes we can say shit that could destroy people. Like we know because we observe people long enough to know what their Achilles heel is. And like I said in the beginning of the reading, like sometimes silence is golden because we know what to say. We know the things that we could say that can simply completely burn bridges, because we did have that fire card showing up earlier in the beginning of the reading. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you could scroll back to the beginning of the reading, because I did a Scorpio a Scorpio Oracle card reading. That's the beautiful thing about music, music. Like I wrote some songs, and writing is very therapeutic. It's one of the best ways for me to process my feelings. And that's I always tell people, when they ask, if they ask for advice or anything, I always recommend journaling, because it allows you to really process your feelings in a way that you don't have to worry about being judged. And you can always look back at it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be grammatically correct. And it doesn't have to be, it doesn't matter. It's a way of purging whatever thoughts or feelings that you're having, but in a healthy way. But then you're also able to see it written down, because writing, as you know, it's it's not only like mental and emotional, but it's also physical. So it's a way of channeling that energy. And that's like transmutation in itself, because when you're writing something, it's essentially you're creating something. And if you're creating like a song, you're writing a song, you're creating music with whatever emotions you're experiencing. Sometimes I listen to songs and I'm like, did a Scorpio write this song? You know? And I'm bringing up Scorpio a lot because I'm a Scorpio myself, and this is a Scorpio reading. I have 4 Scorpio placements in my chart. I'm a Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. It's a human thing. And I wish people could with the gendered expectations, no, everything that we go through is a human experience. It can be experienced through a different lens because how men and women are supposed to react to those experiences, but pain, regardless of your gender, is still the same. It's like they say about regardless of your skin color, we all have the same insides. We all have the same organs. We have bones. We all bleed red. Our blood is red. The only thing that changes, differentiates us from each other is our physical appearance. 707. My neck. Do you stream your music anywhere? I'm hearing your song in my head right now. The chorus. On Friday, I will most likely be streaming again at between 2 and 3 p.m. And if you want me to do a reading for you, then I can, regardless of your sign. Did I put the right cards in here? I think so. Yeah. Do you intend to stream it? I think people will like it. Oh, that'd be cool to see. I hope she has clothes on. I don't want to see titties. You didn't answer my question. You're laughing. That doesn't answer the question. All right. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to be heading out. So I hope you have a good night. Whoever subscribed, thank you so much. Whoever liked this live stream, thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a good night, a good rest of your day. Good, good. We have a lot of negative influences as it is. So I hope everyone has a good night, good rest of your day, and that you stay safe. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye. Bye, Alpha. Yes, don't have her dancing like a hoochie. Bye, everyone.